Get ready for the headlines that are shaking up the tech world. We start with a critical security flaw at Apple. We are looking at how Apple Business Manager is leaving administrator accounts dangerously exposed. We dive into the details of how administrator and people manager accounts on Apple Business Manager cannot use federated authentication, forcing them to rely on risky SMS sign-ins. This vulnerability means determined attackers could potentially hijack devices and push malicious configurations across thousands of user devices. We break down exactly what this means for business security and what Apple needs to do immediately to close this major security gap.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we're diving deep into the latest updates for your mobile experience. We've got everything you need to know about iOS 26.5, packed with new features and usability improvements. Discover the stunning new Pride-themed wallpapers, the brand new Suggested Places section in Apple Maps, and even a flexible new payment option for yearly app subscriptions. We also look at the small but important enhancements to the Messages app, including the rollout of encrypted rich communication services, messaging for a better cross-platform experience. Now shifting gears completely to the automotive and supply chain revolution, we are examining the massive strategic move by Luxshare to take control of BWI Group. This isn't just a simple acquisition. It's a calculated play to secure a critical piece of the future auto ecosystem. We explore how Luxshare is leveraging its growth from Leonie to acquire BWI's magnetorheological suspension technology and advanced braking systems, aiming to become a true system-level supplier. We analyze the ambition behind this deal and what it means for the future of wire-controlled chassis technology. And finally, we wrap up with the big picture implications of this massive industrial shift. We discuss the significance of BWI's magnetorheological technology, how it's moving from supercar exclusivity to mainstream models, and the intense competition driving this move. This acquisition signals a major transition for Chinese auto parts manufacturers moving from simple parts suppliers to complex system integrators. Don't miss out on this analysis. Stick with us as we keep tracking the biggest stories shaping tomorrow's technology. Apple is facing a significant security vulnerability in its Apple Business Manager, ABM, platform concerning administrator authentication. The issue stems from administrator and people manager accounts being unable to utilize federated authentication, despite these accounts managing the federation process for other users. This forces administrators to sign in using non-federated Apple account sign-in, typically relying on two-factor authentication via SMS or voice calls to a trusted device or phone number. This reliance on SMS authentication for key accounts that manage security for potentially thousands of devices is flagged as a major risk. SMS authentication is susceptible to several attack vectors, including exploitation of SMS delivery systems. The potential consequences of a successful breach are severe. An attacker gaining access to a compromised ABM account could potentially reassign enrolled devices to a malicious mobile device management, MDM, server, wipe devices, or deploy malicious applications and configurations across the organization's devices. The vulnerability is amplified because Apple's system allows a limited number of administrators per ABM setup, meaning an attacker could potentially compromise a large number of users by targeting just a few administrative accounts. Security experts suggest that Apple must urgently address this gap. The proposed solutions involve implementing existing security protections already present in the broader Apple ecosystem within the ABM platform. The author suggests that diverting existing research and development resources to implement these known mitigations in ABM would be a straightforward and beneficial step for the Apple admin community. Apple has rolled out iOS 26.5, focusing on minor usability enhancements and key feature additions, as the company gears up for the major iOS 27 reveal at WWDC 26. The update builds upon the previous iOS 26.4 release, introducing several notable changes across the operating system and ecosystem. One of the standout features in iOS 26.5 is the enhancement to Apple Maps, which now includes a Suggested Places section. This feature recommends nearby locations based on user location and recent search history. Notably, Apple plans to utilize these suggested places to display advertisements in Apple Maps for users in the United States and Canada starting later this year, clearly labeled as ad, to differentiate them from organic recommendations. In a commitment to inclusivity, iOS 26.5 introduces 11 new Pride-themed wallpapers for both iPhone and iPad. Users also gain the ability to create custom wallpapers by manually selecting colors from a palette of up to 12 options. For subscription management, Apple has introduced a new payment option allowing developers to offer monthly installments for annual app subscriptions. This provides financial flexibility for users who prefer not to pay the full yearly cost upfront, though this option will not be available in the United States or Singapore. The Messages app received a significant update with the introduction of support for encrypted rich communications services, RCS, messaging. While currently in beta and limited to supported carriers, this feature aims to bridge the gap between iMessage's end-to-end encryption and RCS's superior cross-platform capabilities, offering enhanced media sharing, typing indicators, and group chat functionality. Usability has also been improved within the Reminders app. The alert system has been refined, moving away from generalized time slots like afternoon or evening to precise scheduling options such as Remind Me in 1 hour or Remind Me tomorrow, offering greater control for task management. Overall, iOS 26.5 serves as a focused update, prioritizing incremental improvements and bug fixes ahead of the major OS overhaul scheduled for later in the year. The M4 iPad Air has been a significant driver in bolstering Apple's tablet growth, leading to a substantial increase in the iPad's share of the global tablet market. Data from the latest quarter indicates that Apple tablets sold approximately 2.5 times more than its largest competitor. This success underscores Apple's sustained dominance in the tablet category. According to market research from Omdia, Apple captured 40.1% of all tablet sales in the first 3 months of 2026, up from 37.2% in the same period last year. Analysts noted that Apple retained its leading position, shipping 14.8 million iPadOS devices and achieving a 7.9% year-on-year growth, largely supported by the strong performance of the iPad Air. Revenue for the iPad segment surged, generating $6.9 billion in sales during the January-March period, marking an 8% increase compared to the previous year. The iPad has demonstrated consistent growth across every quarter since spring 2024. In the competitive landscape, Samsung remains in second place, shipping 5.8 million units in Q1 2026, which represents a 12.6% year-over-year decline, and securing a 15.7% global market share. Huawei and Lenovo followed in third and fourth positions, with market shares of 8.8% and 8.2% respectively, while Xiaomi placed fifth with 7.2%. Historically, the original iPad from 2010 is credited with establishing the tablet as a desirable consumer product, sparking a competitive rush in the industry. Apple's continued success highlights its effective strategy in this evolving market. BWI International, formerly Beijing West Industries, resumed trading in Hong Kong on May 11, 2026, surging over 83% at the open following a major disclosure. The catalyst was the conditional agreement by Luxshare, a consumer electronics giant, to acquire all equity in BWI Group's controlling shareholder, effectively securing about 59.5% of BWI International and establishing ultimate control. This move sent ripples through the industry, prompting questions about the strategic rationale behind Luxshare's investment in BWI, a company positioned to capitalize on the burgeoning wire-controlled chassis market. BWI's foundation is rooted in 2009, when state-backed capital acquired Delphi's chassis business, securing core patents and production lines for magnetorheological suspension technology. This technology allows vehicles to dynamically adjust suspension stiffness up to 1,000 times per second, offering a fast-response shock solution deemed irreplaceable in the automotive sector. BWI has established itself as a global leader in this field, possessing over 12 million units of production experience and more than 140 patents. BWI Gixxing's MagniRide registered system has been a hallmark of ultra-luxury vehicles for 2 decades. However, the technology is now democratizing, with the Deepal L06, equipped with BWI's domestic system, successfully entering the 150,000 yuan mainstream market. Furthermore, BWI is expanding beyond suspension into smart chassis solutions, including electromechanical brake (EMB) systems. The company has already initiated mass production for its IDBC-1 integrated brake control system in Europe and plans for next-generation wire-controlled brakes in North America, signaling a significant push into system-level products. Luxshare's acquisition of BWI is viewed not as a purchase of a standard auto parts firm, but as a strategic move to complete its transition from a parts supplier to a system-level provider. This acquisition horizontally expands Luxshare's portfolio from wire harnesses and connectors to include critical chassis components like suspension and braking. This aligns with Luxshare's broader ambition to become a system-level supplier, targeting per-vehicle content values reaching up to 40,000 yuan. The logic behind the deal is underscored by Luxshare's recent growth trajectory. Following the acquisition of the wire harness giant Leonie, Luxshare demonstrated significant integration efficiency and a focus on lean manufacturing and cost control, unlocking substantial profit recovery potential in traditional auto parts businesses. The move to acquire BWI addresses Luxshare's critical weakness in the chassis domain, which is essential for competing with established Tier 1 suppliers like Bosch and Continental. Capital markets reacted favorably, with Luxshare's stock hitting a historical high, pushing its market capitalization past 550 billion yuan. The immediate challenge for Luxshare lies in the industrial execution. The ability to leverage its manufacturing prowess to bring BWI's advanced technologies to the mainstream and effectively cross-sell its capabilities using Leonie's global network. The success of this integration will determine if Luxshare solidifies its position as a true system-level Tier 1 supplier or faces integration hurdles.